Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. It's down to the wire. It is the end of the road. It is whatever other cliche you can come up with to think of describing this fifth ace game in this best of five series between two of the best players I have ever seen, some of the best players I've ever seen. It's the grand final of the DreamHack Open Summer 2013 tournament. It's been crazy games all the way. We've seen some absolutely beautiful play from a whole bunch of Zerg, Terran and Protoss forces. But right now in the grand final, we are down to just two players, and this is going to be the last game. Best of five series, and it's 2-2 right there. You can see there's 2 and 2. So that means that they have each won one game. And my god, have these games been crazy. The first game, StarDust won with some excellent push out from his Zealot, Stalker, Sentry, Immortal forces. He had a proxy piling up there. He was doing all sorts of awesome stuff versus a Zerg player. The Zerg had some Ling pressure, but in the end, Lings just didn't work it versus that army composition. So game 2, Jaedong pushed out with a whole bunch of Roach Hydra. Managed to do some awesome force field jumping. Just duking in and out of the force fields, not getting half his army split, not getting almost any splits, just tiny little bits here and there, and managed to get a favourable positioning at the end and taking out the win against the Protoss forces. Game number 3, man, we ended up with some sort of crazy base race with Immortals and Mutas all over the place. This shit just got completely crazy, and StarDust managed to win that by the skin of his teeth. And yeah, game number 4, man. Game number 4, we had a beautiful Roach timing push at the 7-minute mark, and I tell you what, man, StarDust was not expecting that, and neither was I. It was just absolutely crazy, and these guys have gone beyond anything I'd ever expected to win these series of games. But the question is, game number 5. I mean, game number 5, they've got to be saving the best for last, so I am expecting extremely good things from this game. And yes, we are going to see what these extremely good things are going to be. We've got some typical stuff going on from the Protoss, expanding the Nexus into a Forge. Going to whack down a gateway there, and then we're going to see a cannon come down soon, maybe a Cyber Core over there to finish off the gate. Very typical play there from the Protoss player. The Zerg player, he's got his spawning pool down, he's finishing off this expansion. We might expect to see a third base come down in the next minute or so. If we don't see a third base come down, then there's going to be some sort of crazy all-in sort of stuff. But here we go, there's the third base, the 3:45-minute mark. So it's not the fastest he's ever done it, but yeah, it is still going to be very awesome. And we are going to expect to see some, I expect this to go into mid-game actually, based on what the Zerg player is doing. So probably not an all-in Roach sort of push sort of thing. But my jaw is actually starting to hurt, man. I've been talking so much today. I did the semi-finals and the doing the grand finals. I did some random pro-level game, and that was a 40-minute game as well. So that was very awesome. So yeah, my jaw does hurt a little bit, but I just exercised it a little bit. There we go. It doesn't really feel better. I think it feels worse doing that, but we've only got one more game to go, so I'm sure we can stick it out through this game. Yes, what do we got going on? This probe, is this going for like a far corner third base or something like that? Is it going for something crazy like that? I do not know, but that probe is not, this can't be the first scouting probe. Oh shit, I hit that button again. Oh man, I am so bad. I am so bad, ladies and gentlemen. I have ruined this game once and for all. What the... Alright, let's just go back. Alright, we've messed up that tab. We've done that a few times now. And yeah, so we miss out on the income information, but we see the workers there. So that's going to be enough. And we miss out on the army size, but we can see approximately what that's going to be. And yeah, my apologies. I keep doing that. I don't know why, but yeah, I don't like this game hard interface too much. It's got some nice information down there, but yeah, look at this probe being chased. I think he should be able to regenerate his shields enough to keep it going, maybe? I think he should be fine. At least until Link Speed comes up, but it's not coming up yet. The Zerg player going for some very nice economy. He's not really building any units at the moment. He's going for a Roach Warren, but he could have got that a lot earlier. He's just going for a nutso amount of workers. The Protoss, however, going for a nutso amount of workers as well. He's already up to 40, so he is going to be matching the Zerg player right now. And yeah, he's not building too many units either, so they're just going for completely nutso economy, both of them. And yeah, we're going to be seeing a very, very nice macro style game here, and that's exactly what I wanted the last game. We don't want to see any sort of cheesy rushes or anything like that. We want to see nice long game, preferably with nukes, but unfortunately there are no Terran players in this game, so we're not going to see any nukes. However, what could we see? We could see a mass Tempest army. We could see a mass Ultralisk army. I mean, pretty much anything is on the table here right now. I mean, you could see absolutely anything in this game. Maybe the Zerg will like triple expand at the 10-minute mark, go up to 6 expansions. Maybe the Protoss will max out at 200 Zealots or something like that. Actually, I don't know how well that would work, but yeah. I really can't say. I'm probably hyping this up a little bit too much, but it's hard not to hype up a game like this when so much crazy shit has already happened in this entire tournament. Not just the previous 4 games, but in this entire tournament, man. It's just been crazy, awesome gameplay all over the place. Really, really good stuff. Maybe we'll see some Storm tech from StarDust. We saw some excellent Storm attacks from him when he was facing off against Joe, the Swedish player, in the semi-finals. And yeah, I'd love to see some Storm tech from him again, but it looks like he's going for his good old favourite units, the Immortals and the Zealots, and I'm sure there's some Sentries in there as well. One thing I actually mentioned in the quarterfinals, but I haven't mentioned so far, is that StarDust really likes to get his upgrades up nice and fast. He always gets his first weapons very, very fast, because he Forge expands. Some people would Forge expand, then they wouldn't build the upgrades off this straight away because they would be building other stuff, but he really gets those upgrades in very quickly. I mean, before the 10-minute mark, and he's already got 1 weapons, just about to get 1 armor, so really, really good job done there. The Zerg is going for 1 weapons on ranged, and we've got an Infestation pit down here, so it looks like it's going to be Roach Hydra with Infestor support, and I don't think we've seen Infestors yet from Jaedong. He may have done them in a previous game versus other people. He almost certainly has not done them versus StarDust. And yeah, I can't remember him doing them versus any other player, but I'm sure he did. Because sooner or later, every Zerg player has to do Infestors, man. It's just like an unwritten rule. You have to do Infestors at some point, because otherwise you're just it doesn't matter if you're in Masters League, man. If you've never used an Infestor, man, then you have never been a serious Masters level player. It's just like that. It's like the Sentry of the Protoss, man. If you've never used a Sentry and you're a Masters level Protoss player, then you are not a Masters level Protoss player, man. You have to take the Sentry out for a spin, and you have to do all sorts of awesome stuff with it. I don't know what the Terran equivalent would be. Probably a Raven. If you've never used a Raven, you're not a Masters player either. We've got some Swarm Hosts out here, man. Swarm Hosts. Going to be absolutely awesome. When did we see Swarm Hosts, man? Oh, I really can't remember. I think it was in Game 1. Game 1, when the Protoss was pressuring the bases, and the Zerg player, man, he just had Lings the entire game. And finally at the end, when he was pretty much defeated, he still got a couple of Swarm Hosts out, but he's got them out a lot earlier now, and he's going to do some very nice pressure. But the Protoss army is getting very scary. He's gone for a very scary army here, and he's managed to get up his 3rd at the same time. The Swarm Host, can they turn the tide though? I don't know. This many Immortals, this many forces. I cannot say whether the Swarm Host can turn the tide of the battle. This base is almost certainly going to go down. A lot of pressure on the back. He's only got 2 Swarm Hosts, but if that number gets any higher, 3 more coming out. The Protoss player is getting a lot of trouble. He's going to take this base down. Roach is managing to run around the side here, so that little gap there is going to spell all sorts of unpleasantness for this Protoss army. And there we go. I think he's got a decent chance to wipe it out, but the Immortals so good at taking out Roaches, man. They're really holding their own. The rest of the force is doing well, but he's had the time he needs to get up the Swarm Host numbers. And right now, the Swarm Host pressure, man. As a Protoss, man, it's so hard to deal with Swarm Host, man. It's just so hard. The only thing I can conceivably think of to get rid of them is Blink Stalkers, blinking in and hitting him after they, like if they're shooting off the Locusts. This time you blink in the Stalkers from down here and hit them like that. But you got to be lucky to do that. What do we got going on down here? Ling attack. These guys are not prepared. A bunch of Zealots coming down, but I don't think the Zealots have much of a chance here. They're all going to get wiped out, and then all the workers are going to get wiped out. He's not attempting to run them away. Of course, the Link's blocking this passage, so it wouldn't be too good of an idea here either. Some more reinforcing Zealots coming in. Most of the pros starting to run away. And I think these guys will clean away the Lings, but they're going to go around. They're going to try and get a scout off in this main base. This is wide open. The cannon gets a couple of them. They're going to go all the way into the main, but they can expect some Zealots to be waiting for them when they get in there. And there they go. There are the Zealots, so they're just going to run away again. Maybe go for the expansion up here. But the reinforcing forces already over there. And the Lings are just not going to last anymore. So they're just going to try and take out what they can. But they're buying the Zerg player more time. And he is just getting more swarm hosts, man. More swarm hosts. And this is what these guys are for. Because these guys actually have the benefit from this attack. You can see he's got level 2 going on there, so the armor matters a little bit, but it's the weapons that really do the damage. And there he goes, going to get this base down. And the Swarm Host, if he can do these, if he can pull them off very nice, Swarm Host can swing the entire battle. I would have said the Protoss is a bit in the lead with these guys, but the Swarm Host, they are either useless or a game breaker most of the time. What do we got going on here? Good old Immortal drop. We've seen this happen a couple of times, have we? I saw some player do it. Well, it would have had to be in StarDust because he's the only player in this game. Sorry, the only Protoss player in this tournament. So yeah, it would have had to be in him. Got to warp in these guys. Going to drop them down. DTs, man. Just when I thought shit couldn't get any crazier, we do have DTs coming out to take out the lair, man. Or is this a hive? I can't tell. But anyway, it's going to go down. Where is the observer? He is nowhere to be seen. The base goes down. He's trying to build a spore crawler, but that is going to be way too late. He's going to go nuts. Here's the observer. The DTs are all going to go down, but the lair has gone down. And I don't think he has a lair anywhere else. No, he does not. So, yes, he's going to have to get one of those up. But he might already have the tech options that he needs. Meanwhile, Force coming in here. A couple of Immortals. The Immortals, but the Swarm Host coming in there. Very nice. You see those little Swarm Hosts, man? The Locust just ripped through an Immortal like it's nobody's business, man. But he's going to continue. He should be able to get this hatchery down. The Immortal getting very low on health, but he managed to hit the hatchery just as he goes down. He's building up another base here. He's not rebuilding a lair from any other bases. He's already got the tech options he needed. And I think the Infestation Pit is actually required for the Swarm Host. So that is why he got it. He did not actually want Infestors. He just wanted Swarm Host. And here we go. A bunch more Zealots coming in. And he may be going again. He's going to go for the Roach thingamy-bob. If he saw the Infestation Pit, no doubt he would go for that. But then again, the Swarm Hosts are already out. And they're going to be doing a slow push forward. Here we go. There's the DTs doing some harass. But two overseers over there. Going to be able to push those guys away. The stuff back at the main base continues to happen. The Immortal continuing to get a crap load of attacks. But this is a very serious Swarm Host push, man. Usually it's a lot slower when you got Swarm Host, but this guy is going for broke. He wants to get right up there and attack the main base with Swarm Hosts. Meanwhile, the Zealots are just going nuts. The Zerg player has nothing left to defend his base with. The hatcheries are going to go down bit by bit. Zerg is getting quite crippled, but does the Protoss have anything to take out these Swarm Hosts with? Is it going to turn into a base race again? I would not be surprised at all. The Swarm Host going down. And yeah, look at that, man. The Nexus being overcharged. They're coming down. The main force is going to start taking out this base. These guys continuing to take out the buildings. Bunch of Roaches and Queens starting to hold it off, but they continue to warp in more. And there's really no defense against Swarm Hosts. You've got to take them out at the source. But there is no way the Protoss is going to be able to get over there. There's too many overseers around, so he can't sneak DTs in. And he's got some sort of defense. He pushed off the Hydras before, but the Swarm Host, man, how do you defend against Swarm Hosts with actual units? You just keep losing them and losing them and losing them. But the Zerg, man, the Swarm Hosts are a slow push unit. They go in for slow pushes, and right now his base is being destroyed. So slow is not the name of the game. He needs to get in there nice and fast, and he needs to start taking shit out very quickly, because if he just lets the Protoss go nuts, the Protoss is eventually going to take out all these buildings, and he's sent back his main army to come back here. This hatchery goes down. The Zerg does not have a hatchery at the moment. He is completely out in the open. Is his buildings going to be taken out by all these Protoss forces? This is crazy. He's taken down all the assimilators, or whatever the hell this is, the extractors and stuff like that. He's got to go over. He's got to build like an extractor over on the far side of the map. Like right in, just get the Swarm Host over there or something. This force going in there. The Zealots going in there. I think they have speed. They do have speed, so that is going to be awesome for the Zealots. And Zealots with speed, very effective versus Hydralisk. He's got so many of them. He's doing such a good job. And I think he will be able to clean up this force, but meanwhile, the Swarm host really pushing in here. They have not moved forward. Their escort of Hydras and Roaches has completely disappeared, but these guys continuing to wipe out buildings, and he's moving some Swarm hosts back to help defend this base. There's really not much left though, and there we go. The building's getting taken out, man. The Swarm hosts moving out, but they are so slow at destroying buildings, and he took his forces back to defend his base, man, but it was far, far too late. He was going for a base race, but you cannot base race when you have Swarm host, man, because they are like grannies attacking stuff. It just does not work. And yeah, the Zealots, man, Zealots. There was Zealot City all over the place, and I gotta say, man, StarDust doing such a great job at getting the buildings down ASAP, doing a fantastic job. Of course, his economy was still going, man. He was safe, semi-safe behind here. Managed to get all his workers back here. He had 32 mining off one mineral patch, so maybe not extremely safe, but yeah, he was still doing a good job with 60 workers. He got this base up as well, man. How did he do that in the middle of all that chaos? How did he get that base up? It's brilliance. All I can say is it was brilliance. And the Swarm host, man, Jaedong right at the end of his rope, man, been so confident, so dominating through the entire tournament, but StarDust just saying, you know what? I am going to send you to the absolute end of the road, man. If you want to beat me, you're going to have to go right to the end of this nightmare that you're living in, and you have to do the craziest shit you have ever thought of to try and beat me, and that is where Jaedong went. He did not back away from that black light. He went in, he went for Swarm host. It's the craziest stuff I've ever seen, and unfortunately it did not work, man. It was a good attempt to try another tactic, but in the end, man, the Swarm host just did not work, and the Protoss managed to keep his economy going with this base as well as with these other bases, and the Zealots, man, proving so instrumental. I mean, if he moved the Swarm host back a little bit earlier, he may have been able to keep off the Zealots, but yeah, in the end, man, just that Zealot oppression, man, the Warp Prism up here proving so instrumental, constantly dropping down the Immortal and all the Zealots and all that sort of stuff. So good, and Jaedong not really getting the awesome base defense that he needed to get, simply because he spent so damn much on the Swarm host, man. The Swarm hosts are just so beefy, they're so expensive, and yeah, they're very well suited to a very slow, drawn-out game. But this was not a slow, drawn-out game, man. StarDust very, very aggressive, getting in there, doing some fast hits from the Warp Prism, and yeah, very just not suited. The Swarm host not suited for that type of battle. And they went in there, they did damage, but it ended up turning into a base race, and you cannot race if you are riding on a Swarm host. It is like the turtle of the Zerg army. So there we go. Congratulations to StarDust for getting out there, doing exactly what he needed to do in this battle. That Zealot harassment was just absolutely awesome. He kept them coming in constantly, and by the time these forces came back, the Hydras and Roaches, he had enough to get out there, and speed just pretty much cinched it. If he didn't have speed, the Roach and Hydras may have been able to kill all those Zealots. In fact, they probably would, but speed just owned them all over the place. And yeah, really, really great job there from StarDust. And congratulations, StarDust from South Korea. He is playing from the My Insanity clan, which is based in Switzerland, and he has won the grand final of the DreamHack Open Summer Tournament, and I believe his prize pool is about $9 grand US or something. So that's pretty crazy, man. It definitely pays for the airfare to head over to Sweden for this tournament. It probably pays for his accommodation as well, though he probably gets sponsored for that sort of stuff, I'm guessing, by the clan. So yeah, very, very awesome play from him. And Jaedong, man, I'm going to say by far the second best player in this tournament. And it's arguable if you can say he's better than StarDust, man, because I don't know, man. It's like two great musical artists. You're saying which one is better. You can't really say which one is better because they are both so awesome in their own ways. But in the end, game number 5, StarDust came up with the victory, and congratulations to him. And this has been Hairy Muppet. I've enjoyed this tournament so much. It's been so awesome. is by far the best tournament I've ever cast, and the games in it are by far the best games I've ever cast. So I'm looking forward to some more tournaments of this much epicness, and hopefully this is the first step on a very illustrious YouTube career for me, because I really think that I did an awesome job here. And I know I'm tooting my own horn a little bit, but my God, weren't these games awesome? So there you go. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Please subscribe if you like these games. I know I did, but unfortunately I can't subscribe to my own channel. So there we go. Thank you. This has been Hairy Muppet signing off, getting out of here, going on to do something else. I don't know what, but probably just dance around the house for a little while, because I'm so excited about this game. But thank you very much. I will catch you guys later. This has been Hairy Muppet.